All right, hey, it's Rob, and I recently saw on Facebook that they are selling tickets to my 40th high school reunion. I knew it was coming, but now that it's here, I mean, the reunion is not till August, I think, but it's time to buy the tickets and to start to prepare for this. I'm coming to the realization that I really don't care. I don't care about it anymore. I mean, and I'm surprised because I am by nature a nostalgic person. I attended my 10th, my 20th, my 30th reunion enthusiastically. I was excited to go and see people I hadn't seen in a long time. I live in Atlanta now. My reunion is in Detroit, so I'm not local. I don't run into these people at the grocery store or whatever, but I just feel like over the past few years, it's crossed my mind or whatever that I don't know, I'm kind of over it. I mean, 40 years, first of all, is a long time ago. A long time ago. I don't think, even though I have similar interests and whatever, that I'm the same person and that it's hard for me to even reconnect or remember really what things were like back then. I mean, I still remember the stories, that I tell about my high school days or whatever. I was not popular. I was not on the football team. I hid out in the radio station and played records, and I had a few friends, but, it was not the, shining, wonderful period of my life that I just fondly remember, when I'm sitting around and just crosses my mind some great experience that I had back then. It was fine. I didn't have a bad high school experience, but I don't know. It's like I said, just so long ago at this point. I mean, I went to my 10th. My 10th was fun, but, it hadn't been that long since high school. Basically, I'd gone to college, I'd graduated and gotten out in the working world. I was living in Los Angeles by then, still single, and went back and, it was fine. But like I said, it just hadn't been that long. I had seen all these people within the last decade. So, it did not have the same impact as the 20th and the 30th. The 20th actually was a lot of fun, I remember. It had been a significant amount of time. I was married by that point. I got to take my wife. My, wife at that time was currently not my wife anymore. But at the time, it was fun to introduce her to people. And like I said, the 20th was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. And, look forward to the 30th. By the 30th, we were divorced. But, even though I went by myself, it still was okay, but I made the mistake of volunteering to be the person that put together the video presentation, the slideshow, and to be the DJ for the party, basically. I didn't make announcements or anything, but put together a playlist, and people just complained half the night that I had to turn it down, or they didn't like this, or they didn't like that. I ended up being more of an employee than someone who just attended it for fun. So maybe it was not the greatest choice in hindsight. And now that the 40th is approaching, I don't know. I just am kind of over it. We're so old by this point. I think it might be more fun to just live with my happy memories than to be faced with the reality of, and myself included, what we look like now as we are approaching our 60s. And, to be faced with the fact that, people have passed away and whatever, and I'm pretty much aware of who is gone by now. I might be surprised to hear somebody had passed away recently that I hadn't heard of, but with social media and everything, you pretty much hear about that kind of stuff anyway. I think social media has something to do with it as well, because I see these people on Facebook all the time or whatever, like, okay, sure, it's, better to see someone in person, but I'm up to date on their lives and that kind of stuff, and I generally know what's going on, what they do, who their kids are, where they went on vacation, at least a lot of people. So, it's not as interesting to just have 10 years of your life, where you have no information about someone, and then all of a sudden, you see them and it's been a long time and they have a lot to share with you that you didn't know. Now it's like, I already know what they're doing and where they've been and who they're with. And so, I don't know, you just don't have a whole bunch of questions. You need to ask a person if they're active on social media, as I am, and I pretty much put everything out there, including stuff like this. But yeah, so my 40th is coming up, and I don't know. Again, it's in Detroit, and I'm in Atlanta, so it's an effort and a flight to get out there. And I'm still thinking about it, but I feel like I could miss it, and whatever. It wouldn't be a big deal. We're not doing any great, exciting thing. We're not touring the school or doing anything particularly nostalgic that I'd be interested in. We're just all hanging out at some event space, and then there's a picnic, and the picnics are usually kind of fun, and maybe different people show up at the picnic who didn't want to spend $100 to go to their 40th high school reunion and listen to bad music played by a DJ or whatever we're going to be suffering through. And, the food is never great and whatever. And like I said, you see people and you say, oh, it's nice to see you again, or, whatever. And maybe there's some people who didn't attend the last couple of reunions and you legitimately haven't seen them in 20 or 30 years. And that's fun, kind of, I guess. Or if they're not on social media, you're not seeing their face every day. But for the most part, I think maybe that I'm just content with my life right now, and I don't really look back like I used to. I think maybe in years past I was frustrated. I know at my 20th I had a job I didn't really enjoy, so I tended to be more nostalgic and to look back towards those earlier days. I even had a website where basically I came up with the idea of Facebook before Facebook. I had the picture of my kindergarten class from 1970, and each picture was a link, and I tried to find these people out on the internet and where they were and what they were doing. Again, this was way before social media and phones and everything else, so it was more of a challenge. It was also easier kind of to find information back then. There wasn't so much stuff on the internet. Now I feel like if I'm trying to look up something or whatever and I go to Google, it's not the same experience. I just don't find a bunch of junk and ads and whatever, but I don't really find the information, I'm looking for right away. Anyway, that's probably for another video. But yeah, in general, I just can't imagine that if I went, I'd have some great experience and think, oh, I'm so glad I made this decision. I think I would just go and see some people. They'd see me, and we'd have some food and listen to some silly songs, and that would be it. So I don't know. Still thinking about it. Maybe I'll end up going after all. If so, I'll, post an updated video. But at this point, like I said, I'm just happier living with my memories, maybe, and just don't feel the need to go back to those times. Anyone who is interested in speaking with me or finding out what I'm doing, currently, it's very easy to track me down and to ask. So they could do that at any point. Doesn't have to be at a 40-year reunion. All right. Wrapping up this video for now. Thank you for listening. If you've gone to your reunion, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought, or if you have a reunion coming up and you do or don't want to go, let me know why you are planning to do what you're about to do. All right. That's it. Thank you for watching. Later.